What's good, team? Your boy J3 is back in the building. I got a special guest here with your boy today, Mr. Terrific, Ronald Joe Genji, aka
What's going on?
The Encyclopedia. When J3, the Batman, and Ronald Joe Genji, aka Mr. Terrific, come together, we are considered the outsiders. Now, we the outsiders.
Yeah.
So, shout out to that movie and that book. Dope book, man.
Yeah.
I love the outsiders. All right.
Yeah.
So, we got to get into this Stranger Things spoiler-free review.
For sure.
Well, Stranger Things 2, spoiler-free.
Stranger Things 2. I like that.
Yeah.
That number on the title. Sequel.
Hey, wasn't it tight seeing it though? It was like, part 2, like, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We're back again, man.
Yes.
Season 1 was a treat, and we said it in the season 1 review. It was like a movie. This was like a sequel. So I love that number 2 title.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I watched it and couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
Like, I was going to give you guys an episode by episode review, but I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, man, freak this review, because it's going to make me mad.
You're right.
I'm glad Netflix released these episodes right then and there.
We watch it as a whole. We discuss it as a whole. I think that's the best way to do it with shows like these, because you're so much more immersed in it. You do it episodic, you kind of have to go quick, and it's like more of like the moment instead of grasping everything that went down.
Yeah.
So I prefer this. I really enjoy this.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
So let's get into this review.
For sure.
The setting, 1984.
Good year.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I came after.
I was, 86?
85.
Ooh, I can't wait to get to my year.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude. But yeah, that was a good year, summer blockbuster. So we're kind of opened in Indiana in 1984. Bunch of new characters and things, but it's still kind of a mystery. Episode 1 started off like an action movie. I was very happy about that, because I was like, is this still Stranger Things? But kind of getting into the vibe of it, I was hoping to see more of, I guess, that upside down alien set. And instead we got like this epic car chase, which reminiscent Terminator 1 when the T-800 was chasing down Kyle and Sarah. I was like, oh, this is dope.
And speaking of Terminator, that was a movie that was being shown in theaters.
Very nice. Yeah.
The 1984 vibe was on point. This was like, this movie was filmed in 1984.
For sure.
Or, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you really was immersed in this world of the 80s, just like they did in season 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great bounce back to the nostalgia factor of it without losing it.
Mm-hmm.
It really felt, the kids even felt genuine. The kids still feel genuine. You know, sometimes you watch a show and then the kids grow up and it's like, damn, this shit out of place.
Right.
This didn't feel that way. You understood that after season 1, they knew they had a little bit of time before these kids started getting older, so they had to get down to business immediately. And I love that about this show. It comes off 1 year after season 1, so it's season 1 is 1983. This is 1984.
Right.
And we see the team back together again. Well, kind of back together again.
Getting back together.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of part their ways, doing their own little journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody kind of has their own subplot. And I also liked about Stranger Things 2 is that each episode felt like a different genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the mystery was kind of coming into play. So we got more of the drama. And then, like, you know how you always say, like, you want to see certain things? Each episode gave you something different when focused on somebody specific. So I kind of like that. And
they did it well, because they try to do that on a lot of Netflix shows where they have different writers, different directors.
Yeah.
But you can tell that, I feel personally, that everybody was in the same room when they came up with these stories.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone, like you said, it had all different depths in different areas. Like you had Jim Hopper had his little vibe. Then you had the groups had their own vibe. Then you had certain characters over here, and they kind of expanded this world even more, I think, in my eyes. So much grander scale. You can tell, like, Netflix getting more money for season 2. Oh, hell yeah.
It was so big and expansive as far as tone and scope. I'm like, dude, I would pay money to watch these episodes in theaters. I ain't even lying.
Just like season 1.
Yeah,
and they did well with the money.
It was like they put it to use. They didn't overstock their budget or overstock their product. They spent what was useful. They kept it necessary, and it moved. I always say that when a show like this ends, I get upset because I know that end is coming and I'm ready to go into the next journey. Like, I need part 3 now. And because of that, the cliffhanger was so cool, but the ending was satisfying, but you're still upset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, dang, it's over. What do I do now with life?
So I watched it twice already.
Yeah, you're just sitting there.
I watched it twice.
Oh, okay, tight.
How many you watched it once?
I watched season 1 once and then this one twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we already, it's already addictive.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing twice. Like, that's rare for somebody like J3 to do. Like, I don't watch stuff like that. Not back to back. At least not back to back. So I already watched it twice. Let's get on these characters, man.
For sure.
Who was the most satisfying and who was the least satisfying to you? Boy?
I'll do two.
You got two. You got two satisfying.
Yeah.
And two dissatisfying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. We'll bounce off each other with that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Word.
I'm gonna say the two tight team players as far as like my favorites was David Harbour, Jim Hopper.
Oh hell yeah.
And Sadine Sink, Max. Yeah.
Maxine, interesting.
Yeah, Mad Max. Shout out to Mad Max.
My two favorites, I have to say, it changed a little bit for me. Because my first season, I was a big Dustin fan.
Okay.
I was a big Dustin fan.
Yeah.
And I like Dustin in this.
Yeah.
I like Dustin in this. But Maxine took his place.
Okay.
I ain't
even mad at that.
I like Maxine. I liked her, and I liked Lucas more.
Yeah.
I like Lucas more. At first season, Lucas used to get on my nerves because he was always against 11. But once 11 was out the play, realistically,
made a lot of sense.
It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But you kind of like, you're not seeing in his eyes in a sense, you're seeing as a group, a whole, and you see where this character belongs here, and he's trying to.
Gotcha.
He's more scared. But I seen a scene with him and Maxine where it was like he was. You saw a different side of him. You saw the child in him. Yeah. And I like that.
There's a second girl in the group. I think I'm into her.
But it wasn't necessarily that. It was more of. I don't want to. This is spoiler free, but it was more of you saw him as a kid in certain scenes. They engaged with his little sister more. You saw him as a big brother.
She was awesome too. Yeah. Shout out to her.
Tisha Campbell looking in his, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? She over there teasing and jump.
Pre-Martin Day.
If you ever go back and watch Tisha Campbell in a play as a little girl, she looks just like her. It's the funniest thing. That's why I was laughing when I saw her. But anyway, he had like a He-Man toy. He was like, man, give me my toy. She was like, ain't you a little too old to be playing with toys?
Mm-hmm. But you playing with it.
But that's besides the question. Hey, give me my toy. Like, it was cool.
Yeah.
I like
great moments.
I like Lucas more this season, and I like Maxine, a new character they added in. What's the actress' name?
Sadie Sink.
Yeah. I liked her.
She was great.
I like Jim Hopper. I like who I didn't like, and I still don't like. It's Mike. I don't like the character Mike. I understand where he stands. He's a great actor because I don't like him.
I'm glad you said that. We like the actor. I don't like the character.
I don't like the character.
I didn't mind him in season 1, but in this one, I didn't like him. I think he's probably the only character that really didn't, kind of bother me. Everyone else was straight.
I'm happy how they did Mike. Yeah. Because I feared that because Mike was in the movie It. So I felt, sometimes when that happens, they give certain actors more, screen time because
I got you.
they're bigger.
That didn't happen either.
It didn't happen. Yeah. Everybody still had an equal time.
Yep.
Like you see 11, you'll see Mike, you see Will. I felt that Mike took so much time looking for Will in season 1 because Will wasn't there. Right. But now that Will was there, they blended up the team out properly.
It was a good Goonies balance.
Great balance.
I use that as an example because these are kids that are together, they're on an adventure, but you get so invested in solo aspects of their life. When they're together.
Did you feel like they probably talked to Steven Spielberg about joining these kids together and just in the vibe?
I'm pretty sure they did. Because I follow the resource in the news and stuff with Stranger Things on Twitter and stuff like that. They're very close to Amblin Entertainment. And Amblin Entertainment is all through this production.
And you can feel the vibe with the kids. Everybody had their own time, and you got to learn each one of them. You learned them so well, you knew who you liked and who you didn't like.
It was also what you said about the writers being in the writers' room. If you look at each episode, it's rarely different that other writers had took over, but most episodes it was mostly the Duffer Brothers and executive producer Sean Levy. Yeah, they're very close hand in hand. And the Duffer Brothers and Matt and Ross, they're our age, bro. So that's tight.
That's always been a good
84
thing.
was their year. So
you know what I mean? 86 is my year. You know what I'm saying? So
that lets me know that storytelling like this is possible. And what Stranger Things does that most 80 movies doesn't do, it balances out everything without being too nostalgic. And then the nostalgic adds to the story and to the element. Yeah. So when you see it, it's like, oh, it's a cool callback. But those nostalgia Easter eggs meant something to the characters just like they meant something to us. So when you see that, you go, oh my God. You naturally get a reaction because you're supposed to react. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like forced or anything. So shout outs to the writing team and for the actors conveying like the awesomeness like we did. I'm telling you, the 1980s is probably the best era
as far as development in film, music,
originality,
culture.
creativity.
You know what I mean?
Technology was booming.
Everything, and they showed it in this.
Yeah.
They actually showed us a couple new characters. A character named Bob.
Yeah.
What's the actor's name? Because you speak of Goonies and stuff.
Oh, Sean Astin.
Rudy, right? Rudy.
Yeah.
So you got this actor who was an Encino Man, right?
Man. Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
But as far as in the 80s, he was in, well, you see it early Encino Man, you had the Goonies, you had, what was another movie? He was another big one. Steven Spielberg stuff.
Oh, gosh. Let me hit it up right now. I said Rudy, but that was 90s.
But this actor, I like the fact they threw an 80s actor also in this show.
Bro, I'm so happy.
Like they did with Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She was big in that time too.
Yeah. So it's cool seeing two actors and actors, actor and actresses come together to do a show about the 80s when they were the big deal. You know what I mean? Like as far as people knew who they were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. Like I expect to see Sean Penn in the next one.
Or Kurt Russell.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you think it's too big for Kurt Russell or too small for Kurt Russell?
Nah, absolutely. I mean, just to see him in there, he don't even have to say that. He could be walking by the postman or something.
Well, keep the side. But I like the fact that they're throwing in other actors that were either child stars in that time frame.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of cool because I feel that these kids are actually feeding off those actors and actresses because they're able to say, well, this is how it was when we were kids. And this is how it was like this. So it's really good. What we got?
Whitewater Summer, like Father Like Son.
Yep.
War of the Roses. He sure wasn't Rosa. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The Willies.
Oh yeah, he was the son of War of the Roses.
Yeah.
Oh, War of the Roses, great show. Yeah. Great movie.
He's that dude.
Here we go.
Tight.
Last breath. Get off me, homie.
Man.
But anyway.
And then the scientist, we forgot Dr. Paul, what's the dude's name? I forget. Well, the actor, Paul Reiser.
Yeah.
He's from Aliens.
Exactly.
He was the traitor of the group trying to bring an embryo back on the ship.
And you see how he was able to take that same scene?
There we go, Dr. Owens.
He's able to take them same acting chops from those movies and incorporate them in Stranger Things, which I think is dope. Because it made sense for him to be the doctor because you didn't know if he was playing the good guy or he's playing the bad guy this whole time.
That's why I liked it.
And the character development was really dope. We haven't spoke on certain characters yet.
Yeah.
I think the weakest link, and then I'm gonna get on to another character, but the weakest link for me was Billy. I forget the actor's name.
Dacre Montgomery.
All right, he played the Red Ranger in Power Rangers. He was the weakest link for me because I didn't know where he came from. Like it was confusing. His storyline is all over the place. How can I say this? They gave a little backstory about he's the stepbrother of Maxine.
Right.
And I didn't understand what their motive was going with him. I feel that he's going to be a season 3 character.
I agree. Now, I'm a little indifferent about his character. I like the actor. I think he's really cool. Just something cold-hearted about him. Just very dark. I like his performance as far as like a mysterious level because, again, I had questions. We can't say too much.
Yeah, spoiler. But spoiler free.
As far as the mysterious, I wanted to know more about him, and I feel like he's this way because of something of his past. But he was very to himself, but you saw that there was a connection between him and his stepsister. I don't know if it was genuine or if it was like a life or death thing because something's hinted at and we can't really go into it. But I like the way he played it because he plays that 1980s jock very well, that playboy that all the girls want.
The mamas want.
Yeah, he's good at sports, you know what I'm saying? He has this dark love-hate relationship with his stepsister. Yeah. He means well, but he just doesn't want her to be, with other people. He kind of wants her to be an outcast, kind of like him, but then he kind of doesn't want to be around her.
But see,
you know what I mean?
I think something's up with Maxine.
There was a lot of cliches like that in 80s movies, so they did the cliche right.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that.
It's something up with him and Maxine.
But you said it for me. Season 3, I think it's going to be his story and his time to shine. I like his setup.
Yeah.
But again, we can't go into spoilers because something crazy happens. But I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave it at that.
Another character we got to get to: Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve. Steve is the boyfriend of. He was in season 1. He was the boyfriend that he broke up. He was the boyfriend of Nancy. Nancy is Mike's sister, older sister,
Right.
and Jonathan is Will's brother, older brother. And seeing those three come together in season 2, I thought that Steve was going to be off the picture after season 1.
Yeah.
But they actually brought him back, and we got a chance to see a little bit more of this character. I actually like him more than I liked him in season 1.
He was the man in season 2. He brought that Wonder Years vibe to it.
Exactly.
He's like, he kind of kept the group together.
Bad guy turned good in a sense, like
Big brother. He was Wayne.
Exactly.
But turned good.
I felt that Steve was the character in season 1. He was pretending to be something he's not.
True.
And this event happened and brought him to come to I'm not like that.
Yeah.
We got to see more of Nancy's character on her. Nancy is she's growing into a woman, and
wow,
you can see her transitioning into something her mother has never been. You see, she was in season 1. She was like following her mother's footsteps. She was doing stuff that her mother would have done,
making decisions, not really thinking, trying to fit in.
Exactly.
I think this is cool. Let me try it.
This season, we see her more her own person. She feels a certain way.
For sure.
This is a year after this is 1984, so season 1 is 1983, and Barb, her friend, is still missing.
Yeah.
And it's sad because the whole team knows what happened to Barb.
Right.
But they on a hush. And you can see it eating her away like it was Christian Bale in that movie when he got really small. Machinist.
Yeah.
You can see her eating. Ironically, she's already small though, but you can see the guilt. Like she knows and she wants to tell her parents, and you see that, and you see the change in her. I think that right there is making her a better person. And then she's more into you see her and Jonathan still have that deep connection that they had in season 1 because they felt like they both lost something dear to them.
And she finally opened up to him, and I think because her ex-boyfriend now, he had a change of heart because of what she was going through and the information she gave to him about her best friend. And I felt like because of that decision that was made to tell him how she really felt, it made him alter and change and become a different person too to the group. And then it kind of brought everybody together. So everybody's personal interactions and life or death situations brought them together, reunited, and everyone got exposed to what was happening. And I like the way they did it because they didn't do it in a stupidity fashion. And that's another thing I like about the show because you couldn't tell a story like this modern times. Because you have all the answers.
Google.
Internet and stuff like that. So you can play on the cliches of walkie-talkies. Sometimes it works. The battery may die. We got to get the Radio Shack. It may work. Sometimes it doesn't work. The signal may go. So it works. And
shout out to Radio Shack still being.
We got questions. We got answers.
And it was really cool seeing it because.
So I like the cliche turned on his head. Making sense.
And they took Jonathan's character. They toned him down a little bit because he was no longer looking for Will. But we saw the stress disturbance through him for the love of his brother and the love of Nancy. You know, we always knew they all grew up together. That's crazy. That's the beauty of a small town. Everyone knows each other since day one. But you see the difference in the media growing in the 80s and separating this group. But something so tragic could bring them back together.
Kind of like real life. It's a crazy paradox. Like tragedy brings people together. But like when it's like happy and dandy, everyone's kind of, on their own separate ways, kind of solo bolo. But this is kind of true to life. It's almost like art imitating life. Yeah. So Stranger Things just hits all those notes, man. And I like how everyone knew what was going on. Everyone knew their roles, and everyone helped out each other. And you had anti-villains, you had anti-heroes, and then you had the heroes. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they kind of crossed paths where you, like you said, like people showed their true colors as far as personality. They still kept to their, normal ways, but when it came down to business and something would happen, they would change and be game players. We gotta be together. We gotta win. We gotta do this.
I like this part. What's Winona Ryder's character name?
Joyce.
Joyce. It's crazy. Joyce, I think, is the glue of everything. Yeah. Because her past with Jim Hopper and her new, it's not spoiling, but she is in a relationship with Bob after this tragic incident that happened with Will.
Oh, I'm glad you opened that door.
So,
which relationship did you enjoy the most? Because I'm in a 50-50.
This is the thing.
Man.
Joyce was popular in school. I don't think she was trouble, but she was like the bee's knees. You know what I'm saying? Hopper was that dude. See that. Hopper was he wasn't a bully,
He was cutting class, smoking, and
he was
the guy.
He was the guy.
Yeah.
He's the dude. You know what I mean? And him and Joyce never got a chance to be that, even though they wanted that.
Okay, I can see that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they were kind of reliving that. They couldn't do then.
And the love, because you guys know that Hopper had a wife and a daughter in season 1.
Yeah.
And when he lost that, it put him at a standstill.
He was out of touch with things.
He was out of touch.
Just being around people.
Joyce got with a man who was abusive and disrespectful and left her and her sons because they weren't the family he wanted. And then you see this guy, Bob, who was the nerd, that geek in high school with them.
Yeah.
That they all grew up together. They all knew each other.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And you see Joyce, it's like you said, it's cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
You know, the nerd always finish last in a sense.
Yep.
He always gets that girl he always wanted.
But they always have all the answers. They have information when needed, and they know how to love.
Exactly. And at that time, as a woman in her, I say 40s, and she's done. No, you know, it's hard to find a husband, someone to love you. She goes for the nerdy one.
His character was so genius to me because he kind of played on like the early days of his career, and I just love how they were sitting there having a bologna sandwich, and I remember having bologna sandwich.
Hell yeah.
So it was the little things, and then when they were sitting outside the little pharmacy store. And he's getting excited. He's like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Mom, you got the tape. Like, let's put the VHS in." And they're watching as a family.
Hey.
So he was such a loving person, and so he believed in family events, and he believed in family, and then he believed in Joyce when she didn't believe in herself.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was the pro to her personal cons.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have got anyone better than Sean Astin to play that because he was the yin to the yang. And then, what's his name? Jim Hopper, on the other hand, was also the yin to Joyce's yang, but he was more the manly, like the muscle, and then the heart when he started to, open up about his past and things like that. So he helped her in a way too, and then she started to feel stronger and things like that. Yeah. So I think they both brought happiness, but in different ways to her life as far as now.
And the good thing is, with Bob coming into place, she was able to understand, I think, her sons even more. Yeah. Because he played the role as what she was not about at that time. Right. She was over motherly, right, with Will. Because after an event like that, of course you're going to be over. I wouldn't expect no mother to not follow your son's every footstep. You know what I mean? And you can see Will trying to grow up, but his mom is just like, no, you got to stay with me at all times. You got to stay with. And I felt. She's a great actress, man. Yeah, Hollywood, that Emmy. Hollywood really needs to let her back into film if she wants. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If she wants, they really.
She ain't lost it.
They really need to let Winona Ryder back into Hollywood, and I'm talking about into film because she. Honestly, and no disrespect to David Harper, but she's the best actor and actress in this whole show.
She carries it together. She's the face.
She's the shit.
She's the face.
She's better than she's the shit because everything about her, I really feel her. Like
she got that Emmy for season 1 too.
Bruh, I really feel her. Yeah. Like she didn't lose a beat. It's like they just continue on with the show. Like no one took a break. You can honestly feel that. And seeing her between Bob and Jim, it was dope. You know what I mean? And Jim Harper on this one, it's Jim Harper, right?
Yeah, Jim Harper.
All right, cool. Let me make sure I said it right.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you go ahead and you start saying people's names wrong.
Yeah.
Al Bundy. Yeah, Al Bundy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Jim Harper, this season was able to show a sensitive side of him.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I think we needed to see because first season,
very happy about that.
He was the dude. Like he's the one-hitter quitters coming in there.
I'm the law. Do what I say. Give me answers, or I'll book you.
What the hell's going on? Yeah. You got Lenny and Carl, his deputies and shit.
Oh yeah.
You got them going.
It's safe to say that this is like a Netflix universe because that's the criminal from Daredevil. So I love how Netflix keeps their actors. That's you stay working. Hey, I ain't mad at it.
Like you get first dibs. Like, we got this Netflix show coming. You want to go and audition? Sure. But you got all that going on, and you see the sensitive side of him, the side that we needed to see, so we can understand why he was the way he was in season 1. Mm-hmm. We got more depth with Jim Harper, and I got to keep it spoiler free, but the depth that we got from him was so amazing because it allowed us to really feel this character in a whole new look. He is the ultimate dude. He is the dude.
He's still the man of law enforcement, but he still has father characteristics in him.
You can see the love for the group now. Like, and
he wanted to share it.
You can tell that the city respects him more, and they don't even know why they respect him more. these kids brought something to his life that he's been needing this whole time. And it's dope seeing it.
I feel like he was so much of the part of the conspiracy and the darkness of season 1, and the town starting to realize the pulls and the strings that he had to pull to go through those things by himself, and they realized that he actually did it and fulfilled it by himself. So they're like, okay, well, we got to go to him now
with these,
because nobody else really understood. Like season 1, everyone was in the dark.
Everything was with these, bruh.
But now it's out in the open. They're like, okay, they're testing stuff, they're doing stuff, they're trying to help. But we can't say too much because we're going to cause a panic. And this is in the 80s, so this is a great way to tell that story.
And he understood.
It's
funny, like it's like he time traveled. It's like he time traveled. He knew he was in the 80s. He knew people couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And he solved it with these.
Yep.
I think, let me see. I want to leave this last character for last. Okay. But I want to talk about the teacher.
Yes. Got something to say about that.
What's his name?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark, yeah. Right?
Randy Havens.
Mr. Encyclopedia right here, man. You know I'm bad with names. If we had a prompter, we'd be like, oh yeah, Mr. Clark, you know, we real. We keep this 100.
Where's his girlfriend Jen at? Where was she at?
Bruh.
Oh.
Mr. Clark, in season 1, I really expected Mr. Clark to get more play in this season.
I'm with you on that.
I thought
season 3.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But he's the teacher, he's the president of the AV, what is it, the club?
AV Club.
AV Club. He's the president of AV Club, and it's crazy seeing it because I thought after season 1 that when shit hit the fan on a different level, the group was going to go to him for help.
The sci-fi MacGyver.
But I wasn't disappointed because the group grew, especially Dustin. Dustin really got to a different level. That year, I swear, like, this kid wants to win and got every book, and he kind of did because they showed a scene with a librarian.
Yes.
She was hot.
Yeah.
The librarian was like, hey, you know, you got other books you got to return. Yeah, whatever. He really went and he really did his research on everything.
Junior Encyclopedia.
And I really enjoyed it. Yeah. He actually grew his teeth back in the front. You know, he grew his teeth. You got
Max
your teeth back.
Too, yeah.
You got your teeth. So, you know what I mean? That's cool. And seeing the development of him, I think, honestly, Dustin, with his teacher, it's crazy. His teacher, Mr. Clark, sees the leader in him. I don't know if you noticed it.
You know what's funny? Because, like, Dustin in this season kind of reminded me of J3 a little bit, just the way he was doing stuff. Like, when he found that monster, he was like, I discovered this, give me my credit. I was like, this is J3 doing
Hey.
That was like...
Don't ruin nothing.
It was cool. So I like that. It was cool.
Sorry, y'all. Ronnie got happy.
No,
don't say nothing.
Nah, that was little.
But no, real stuff. Yeah. I really am... I see myself in Dustin.
Yeah.
That's some J3 shit, no lie. But it's you saw the growth in him.
Yeah.
I think Dustin's
going the group together.
I think Dustin's going to run this group.
He has to.
Mike, I think, is the weakest part of the group.
Because he's like Mike's emotions is controlling him. But Dustin's that alpha male that, again, like we said season 1, he knows the situation, but at the same time, it's amazing. It's a thrill for him.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is awesome, but we could die, but this is time. Yeah. You only get one time to live.
Let's dissect the group.
So that's cool to me.
The group has grown.
Yeah.
Right? You got Nancy, Jonathan, Steve,
yeah,
Will, Mike, Lucas, 11, Maxine, and you have Dustin.
Dustin, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
The group has grown. And I think it's grown on a level where it's in favor of Dustin. Dustin's the smartest when it comes to this shit. He's the most level-headed when it comes to this shit.
He's the movie guy that knows what's going on. He knows the rules.
And those are two traits of leader.
Yeah.
Mike, he's the weakest link of the group. Because Mike emotions take over everything. Mm-hmm. If he's not in it, he ain't winning.
Right.
Lucas is the backbone.
Right.
He's like, hey man, you know what I mean? He's that dude.
Brains, muscle, overthinker, but with reasoning.
Exactly. Yeah. And he ain't afraid.
Right.
Steve is the I don't want to say the dumb guy, but he's the dumb guy.
Yeah.
Who has changed. He has a good heart. Nancy's the mom. Jonathan.
Yeah, she's definitely the mom.
Yeah, she's the mom. Jonathan's the dad. The guy that you can all go to and talk to.
Big brother and dad, yeah.
Will is the piece.
Yeah,
he's like the Flash of the group. Even though he pissed me off because he wouldn't say a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I understood why. He is the glue. Because he puts them all together.
He had the most emotion out of everybody. He was going through it.
Yeah. But he stayed focused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. He gave little answers with what he was able to do during his psychotic episodes.
Maxine, though, she's new. We got to get another season with her.
Yeah.
But as of right now,
her introduction was solid.
Her introduction is solid.
Yeah.
But I think Dustin is the leader of this group.
I like that girl next door vibe.
Mike,
she was cool.
Mike took that away. His emotions. He too weenie. Like
I don't know.
He did a good job because I don't like him.
And that's the character. That's just great acting.
Yeah.
Mike he's out of touch with things that don't revolve around him or don't involve him as far as discussion or, coolness, you know what I'm saying? So he's just kind of to himself. I think he was more hurt because it was a personal thing between him and his friends. Like, he felt like, man, they didn't include me with this decision. Like, they brought this girl in without me, and we already got 11. So I guess he felt betrayed in a sense. But then he kind of got over it, Even he was still mad, but then he's like, my friends, they meant well. I don't agree with the situation, but all right, she's here now.
It's a great feel of Stand By Me.
Yeah, that too.
It's just like Stand By Me. That one summer we all hang out, some shit happens, and
they paid homage to it when they was rocking on the railroad.
Yep. and
brothers, you clever bastards.
And you put us in this situation.
Yeah.
And then after the summer, what happens? Yeah. So they kind of showed us.
They showed us.
A whole year passed. Everybody wasn't as close as they were.
No.
But it takes an event to bring you back. And I love that.
And it's gonna happen.
I love that.
Yeah.
The main event, as far as characters, 11. We're not gonna spoil anything because 11, I think, is like the biggest spoiler of this.
Yeah.
Because she has so much mystery behind her.
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown's awesome.
She's great, and I really enjoyed her. I love the innocence of her face and the mystery of her. She's so good at what she does. She's a great actress. She plays 11. And what the Duffer Brothers did in this season, which I really love, is they gave 11 a pass.
She has an arc now.
She has an arc. They gave her something that she needed.
Yeah.
And while they were giving it to her pass, we were learning. And we learned just as much as she learned at the same time. Mm-hmm. And I love that about this character.
And her character also opened up the world in a sense.
It opened the world to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's like this is a web of knowledge now. You have a core of Indiana, and then now you have the kids. You have 11. You have Jim Harper. You got freaking Joyce. You got everybody expanding this universe for greater good in sequels. So we're gonna get more. We're gonna get a lot. Of. I think this season is gonna keep. This series is gonna keep going for a minute.
The series is that type, man. They have to number it. It's not even like it's sequels. Like that's dope. That's cool.
The way this is going is going in a way where I see this with 11 putting that art to this story is so dope because 11, she didn't talk season 1.
She was such a mystery.
Good
mystery though.
And then we see the development in her.
She's evolved, yeah.
Literally evolved and everything. Her emotions, how she went from, let's say, a child of like 7 years old mentally, in a sense where she didn't talk, she was scared, she was feared, she didn't know. But then this one, we see her developing into a teenager in a certain degree.
And human qualities as well.
A lot of human qualities. She's more interactive. Yeah. She has
She's loving.
She grew.
Yeah.
She kind of like grew up overnight. 1 year, boom, she's a teenager now. Yeah. She did teenager things that a teenager girl would do.
Shout out to television.
Great. Here it is.
Right?
Oh, she changed.
X2 before X2.
She's lazy.
Yeah.
But it was great seeing that.
Good stuff.
It was great seeing her develop, and I really enjoy her character. I think that just basically clears out all the characters.
That's another good point, though. I wanted to kind of touch on 11 as far as like her introduction to the world of like just interacting with people. I think because she was around in television too, she's going to open up to pop culture as well.
Yeah.
Because she learned a lot of things as well. So I kind of like those characteristics because that's kind of a realistic thing. Because again, she's still stoic in a sense, but she has every reason to be that way because she's still an outsider in a sense. And, someone, we can't say, but someone's protecting her. But she's gonna learn as far as pop culture is gonna make her be accepted, and people are gonna understand her more because she's gonna understand what we love and what we've embraced and what we cherish so much.
Yeah.
So I kind of it goes back to what I said earlier. Nostalgia plays a big part of this story as far as substance and style and coolness. You know what I'm saying? So it was more than Easter eggs. It was like, okay, that thing meant something. That Terminator meant something. That Back to the Future meant something. Those commercials meant something.
Exactly.
Those Eggo waffles, they meant something. So when they show you something and the camera's on it for a long time, there's a reason for it. So I love that. It's those little subtle moments, man. You gotta love the little things.
It was really cool seeing it, man. Let's talk about the upside world, right?
To the upside down, man.
The upside down. There's a whole new. Well, you guys see in season 1 that they had an upside down, and basically at the end of season 1, you see Will returns.
Yeah.
From the upside world, and he spews out like a caterpillar looking worm.
Some type of insect, yeah.
And it's crazy seeing the upside world because we really don't, even in season 2, we really don't understand the upside down world
and how it operates. Yeah.
We don't know. Was it created? Is it a different universe? What about it? You know what I mean? And I'm gonna give you guys what I think the upside down world is. I think the upside down world was created. I think it was created because
I'll say this though, in season 1, I thought there was only one way in. We learned that's not the case in season 2. So I always felt like, and I'm glad you said that, because when we get to the laboratory, that's the gateway. But were they working on it, or were they trying to stop it? Yes, and that's the thing, we still don't know. But even though in Stranger Things 2, we got to see more of it this time, but we still don't know. Like you said, was it created or whatnot? I felt like, this is just a theory, there's nothing confirmed. I felt like it existed, and that would kind of make sense, in a lot of ways, because who's to say that the scientists didn't just discover this even from season 1? Because there had to be many reasons why they were so hush-hush, because their careers and jobs were on the line if they opened up about it. We're talking about NASA and the government, UFO and Area 51. So in the season 2 was like, okay, they changed their tune. The authorities, the cities caught on. We got to try to end this. I mean, let's give them something so they don't panic too much. But we can't tell them exactly what we're doing. Yeah. But we're doing not so good things. So I think that this place already existed, and they're just starting to understand it, just like we're starting to just trying to figure it out. I think they know what it is, but they can't say because it's going to be such an uproar to the 1984 citizens. And I think that will make for such a bigger story arc, though. And then also in season 2, this is not a spoiler, there was another way into the upside down. I'll just leave it at that. I was like, whoa, really? This is it?
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
But see, I think it was created because if you look at the upside down world on both ends, season 1 and season 2, they always show the city. They show the town. They show exactly what it is. I think they made a mirror parallel universe, and I want to know why.
That's crazy.
I want to know
what
why.
were they looking for? What were they after?
What's the deal with it? You know what I mean? Because you have these creatures in this world is crazy. Yeah. But that's as far as the development of the characters, everything like that.
Shout out to Alien.
Let's get on this story.
Yeah.
The story was on point. It was just as good as season 1.
It was a quick follow-up. I mean, they really got us in. It was so big and expansive.
Hell yeah.
I think the story in Stranger Things 2 was much stronger because the characters along with the original characters along with the new characters expanded everything. And it wasn't always so much about the upside down and the conspiracies. It was these characters at this point in their life. And I think that was a huge expansion to the source and to the art. And then how they were dealing with it. So even when things weren't going on as far as like the spectacle and eye candy, it was still engaging because we were following these lovable and likable characters. And I like that we got to spend more personal time with them in season 2. Yes. Even though we have bigger set pieces, bigger action, bigger suspense, bigger scope. You got more high school drama. You got everything. Like every episode touched on every genre. So I really feel like it's safe to say that they touched on everything.
Of course. And the great thing about it was, I think, as far as the directing, the shots, the music, the vibe of the 80s and the story, they really did their homework on this story because it was cool seeing them dress up as Ghostbusters.
That was so
coming
great.
To school.
Shout out to 1984.
It was cool seeing the certain proms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I it's so much. The sky's the limit with this because it's crazy because I honestly see them they're nerds.
Yeah.
And but the way they write them, they're just kids.
They're normal.
They're normal kids.
It's funny you mentioned the Ghostbusters episode. I gotta ask, because I don't know if you caught this. When they went to school dressed up as Ghostbusters and it was Halloween, the banter between who was going to play Egon and Winston and all that.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to be the Bill Murray character.
No, they didn't want to be. He didn't want to be Winston.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be. He didn't want to that. They didn't want to be Winston. He said, "You said you're gonna choose me because
it can only be one.
I want to be black." And that's because Bill Murray was the fun. He was Peter.
He came late.
He's Peter, and it was crazy seeing that because honestly, and not to go from Ghostbusters, but it sucks because if you look at it, what's the actor's name? Played Winston.
Oh gosh, the one that
I always forget his name.
Harold Ramis.
Not Harold Ramis. That's Egon. Winston, the black dude.
Oh, Ernie Hudson. My bad, Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Ernie Hudson character, Winston, had more dialogue than Peter. Because Peter was technically the idiot. And I like the fact that the Duffer Brothers said that. Because they were arguing, they were saying, well, Winston doesn't do anything. He's just a mechanic. Winston was more than that. And they took that away in Ghostbusters because of Bill Murray.
Right.
They took that away. He wanted more screen time.
That's all.
That sucks. And I liked it.
Because he was SNL.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But Winston had more depth. Because you look at Winston's character, he was the mechanic. He knew about all the technology they knew. He learned on like that. He wasn't confused. He was the go-to guy. He was the backbone of the team.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because in the kids in the 80s, they watched this movie and that's what they looked at. He was just a black guy. And I don't hate the show, but I hate the fact that that's what they end up doing with Ghostbusters. Because I like Winston, man. I really liked Winston growing up. I had my Winston toys. It wasn't because he was black, because I looked at my dad's a mechanic. First and foremost, my dad's a mechanic. And when I saw Winston, he's growing up as a kid, my dad's a mechanic. He's black, he's big, he's strong. Winston was the only one that would lay hands.
Yeah.
Let's keep it 100.
He was a survivor at the end of the day. He's kind of like, Winston's like, hey, I'll go along with it. As long as you pay me, I'll believe whatever you want me to believe.
Bruh,
I need a job.
I need that check.
And that's how us brothers think. We survivors at the end of the day.
Survivors, bro.
I'll be a Ghostbuster. Oh, yeah. How much?
As long as it's a steady paycheck, I'll do it.
That's tight.
And it's crazy because that's what they end up. Because the original script of Ghostbuster, Winston had a lot more play.
Really?
He had a lot play. He had a lot of play. Winston was the dude.
Fun fact.
And you have to realize because Eddie Murphy was going to play Winston.
Whoa.
Eddie Murphy was going to be Winston.
That's a totally different film.
Bruh.
80s Eddie. Prime Eddie.
Jim Belushi was going to be in it too. I believe he's going to be Peter. I mean, he's going to be Peter.
That would have been.
So you had those two, and they had to replace him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I see it though. That's
bruh,
shout outs. Yeah.
Talk about tight.
Yeah.
And they would have all had their own shine. But Winston had a bigger role.
No, I feel that.
And I hate the fact that they took his role away like that. And they just made him the black dude. And it's crazy seeing the two kids, Mike and Lucas, fight over who's going to be Venkman because of that factor.
That's crazy.
But it was still tight seeing it though.
But the thing I was opening up was that was dope though. A lot of fun facts there. Shout out to J3 for that. But with the Ghostbusters, the Halloween thing, when the kids went to the school, like, did the kids forget that it was Halloween, or was it not cool to dress up because they were the only ones that came as Ghostbusters? I felt like it was like a hypnotic moment, and everyone was kind of making fun of them. But I'm like, they were supposed to dress up like as far as trick or treating and going to school.
Well, this was the.
Was there a meaning behind that? Because the
transition.
Yeah.
This was middle school.
Okay.
Officially 7th grade, I believe they're in 7th grade now.
So next season, high school.
They needed to, they needed to. They can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're too old to be doing that.
Gotcha.
This is MTV right now blowing up. MTV's on point right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys, that's why when you listen to music, down, whip it good,
Devo, shout out Devo.
Whoosh, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the '80s.
Okay.
At its prime.
I was wondering, I'm like, man, it's Halloween, it's popping. And then when they go to the party, they had the kids dressed up like the rocker groups, like the vampires from Lost Boys.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, he got the slick back hair.
And you know, that's what made it really cool.
Yeah.
But I felt that the kids in school were like, we're not gonna do that. That's for children.
Okay, I was just wondering. I'm like, man, nobody. So I kind of felt like the kids didn't. So I guess I was supposed to feel that way.
Yeah, I thought it was tight growing.
See, that's that good storytelling. Because I'm like, dang, man, they dressed up. Where everybody else got? I'm thinking like the Rat Pack. You know what I'm saying? So okay.
And then and how Maxine came as Mike Myers.
Yes.
Bruh, she's like, yeah. They're like,
And then the home video with the footage on the VHS tape, he was filming it.
VHS, man.
Straight out of Halloween 2. I was like,
VHS,
all right.
man.
I like that.
It was great seeing it. Shout out to the 80s being so dope, and the story was on point.
Yeah.
I like every detail of it. Even when it was in the trash can, you saw old 80s product in the trash can. It was dope seeing it. Bob worked at Radio Shack with all this old technology. He was the tech guy.
He was the guy.
Computers were old. It was really dope seeing.
You want to connect this to this. You want to do this to this. You want to. It's 15 miles this way. He had the. I love that. Because he came in when necessary. Yeah, and it would save the day.
Dope. But I know everybody's waiting to hear what we thought about the music.
Composers, man, Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein, man. These guys are creative geniuses. They have such an original, organic sound, and it's synthwave like I've never heard it. The music is so powerful to me because I can listen to it within the show and just feel all kinds of things, and I can listen to it outside of not watching show, and it's just great experimental music. Like, these guys like clearly are crazy about Carpenter because they really channel his style and had their own magic to it. It's original to the story, and it adds to it, and then it elevates it at the same time. But then outside of it, it's just amazing music you just want to chill to. I was driving to it on the way over here, and then you just feel some kind of way. Like, it's relaxing, it's chill, it's mellow, it's dramatic, it's emotional, it's epic. And then I wanted to get a little bit on that too, because as I'm watching season 2, I don't know why Netflix would ask you, do you want to skip the intro during it? I'm like, who wants to skip the intro?
Bruh, I never skipped it.
I'm like, that's insane.
But that's a good thing because they understood how people are. The real fan, I never skipped it, bro.
I never skipped
all 9 episodes.
That's the arc.
And
that's why you watch.
And they gave us a recap in the beginning. Click. As soon as you push Stranger Things, boom, recap.
Yeah. I had to throw that plug in there. I'm like, skip? Hell no. I'm sitting there, dude.
I did not skip it.
All right, we ended it.
It got me.
And then that intro was fire.
Never skipped it.
Never. Why would you?
Look, the music was on point. I love the music. I love the 80s vibe. I love how they incorporated MTV into that thing and incorporated all the music that was on the radio for this type of era and this type of area of kids. These are white folks out here. So they played a lot of the rock, pop, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, moving forward with this show.
I'll throw a little bit of encyclopedia stuff in there. If you guys want to follow a little bit more of these composers, Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein, they have an experimental new wave band that they have called Survive, Survive. They're on Twitter and stuff, and they do a lot of tours around. And I heard that they're going to be doing a live tour of composing the Stranger Things music before an audience here in LA.
Tight.
I don't know when, but I'm going to look for release dates and we try to go or do something.
All right.
But they're going to do the music live.
I'm down for that. Yeah. I'm really down for that. Just to have the experience to go live and have the Team J3 out there.
So shout out to us composer fans.
One of the things that, since we talked about all that, and before we give a grade, I just want to talk about moving forward with the show. Yeah. Certain things that you like, certain things you want to see grow, certain things that change. Personally, I know it's a small town, like some Erie, Indiana shit. Ironically, Erie, Indiana.
Yeah.
I want to see more outside the town because I really want the 80s feel. I want these kids to go get a Happy Meal at McDonald's.
It's gonna happen.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want everyone to see what I growing up in the 80s as a little baby and a little kid. I want to see them go to McDonald's. Dude, what you getting your
Toys R Us?
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
They bought toys and stuff. But where they get it from? I think that will be the icing on the cake for this group. Because certain things, like they never went to a comic book store.
Not yet.
You know what I mean? Just things like that. They never went to a comic book store.
Dude.
They never went to a toy store. They always had home cooked meals, which I thought was dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way to go.
Conventions like they used to be when it was just comics.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
I do want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see that in next season. I want to see the music change for certain areas of the group.
Certain new things.
Maybe Lucas might get into, hip hop.
Yeah.
Next season, he coming with Adidas and shell toes on.
Great time to run DMC.
You see what I'm saying?
Got you.
And then you see you see Mike kind of going on a punk rock emo look.
Yeah.
Kind of how they showed 11 a little bit. She had the hair slicked back and everything. It's not spoiler. It was in the trailer. You know, the hair slicked back and stuff like that. They kind of get in the emo vibe.
Yeah.
You see Dustin. Dustin's more of all of it.
Yeah.
He just like music.
Yeah.
And you see him change because you see a little transition of him at the end of the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's changing.
That was tight, by the way.
He's getting mature.
Yeah.
But smart.
Yeah.
And you see Will, who is, like I always say, the glue. He's just that dude. And I want to see the transition of them because
I hope they jump more into that, start to get, because you're saying, they're teenagers now, they're going to be in high school. I hope they get introduced to like the John Hughes movies like Ferris Bueller, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, because they're starting to go through that.
But they are, but I want to see that arc. Yeah. I want to see them change. Because we already saw 11, she becoming more of a teenage girl. She's mad, spasm, you know what I mean, not getting her way. She's growing up quick. Yeah. And they all are like that. And I want to see that with the next season because I feel that that's going to change even how Jim Hopper and Joyce looks at everything because they're going to be able to transition. And you still have Nancy and you have Jonathan and Steve who will be going to college and stuff soon. Yeah. They're going to be transitioning. So that'll be great to see the kids going to visit them. Right. Something like that.
Okay, I'm feeling that.
And to see this world and just say, hey, the world's not just happening in the city. I mean, in the small town. The shit is moved out.
That's all the things I want to see in the sequel. I ain't mad at that.
Part 3, season 3 it is. I think that would be really dope seeing that.
I think I just want to I want them to kind of go over the top as far as like stakes though, like the way season 2 did. I was like, okay, that's kind of dope. Season 3, I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out there. Like, let's say season 3, they kind of move to another city outside of Indiana, and maybe Jim Hopper gets a promotion. Now he's running the sheriff department. Maybe he joins the FBI because there's too much conspiracy theory, so he's able to get more information because he's the sheriff. They leave him in the cold, so he's able to like get in and like just lay waste and things like that. I feel like it should start with like maybe a kidnapping. People are getting abducted. Maybe there's someone that wants money to find another world or something. Just something crazy, you know what I'm saying, to kind of expand the universe. And you realize that he has to deal with other threats outside of the circle that he's in. You know what I'm saying? And then I kind of want them to jump in to other, like, I guess, movie genres and things like that. Kind of allude to certain movies and then kind of fulfill that in the episode, but not so much that movie, but kind of give tidbits of it. And then I also want to see more of, like, that love dynamic and things like that, more of the slower things. But, at the end of the day, I want that fast-paced drama. And I want them to dive a little bit more to the action horror though, because I like the way season 2 started. But we can get more of that. I think it'll be cool because I've learned watching the second season, there is a lot going on outside of the Upside Down. I'm like, okay, this city is in trouble. Mm-hmm. So if we can get more of like that action perspective of it, I think that'd be kind of cool though.
And it's cool seeing this and actually thinking about what else you want to see. I think Papa, the scientist in season 1. He dies in season 1, but to me, it never felt complete. It never felt like a completed death. You know what I mean?
Oh, Matthew Modine. Yeah.
I always felt that for this guy to be running this facility, he had to have more to him to be dealing with these kids.
I think he's gonna come back though.
That's what I'm saying. Season 3, I think we might get a Papa back because I think honestly, that motherfucker had powers.
And he's of the 80s too. He was Joker in Full Metal Jacket and Pacific Heights. And then I gotta ask you guys something.
Don't spoil nothing.
Nothing. Season 1. The way he looked, as far as like the mad scientist, they made him look like a horror film director from the 80s and 70s. Was that intentional? Because I think I was the only one that caught it. He looked like David Cronenberg in certain scenes. And then because of the character he's playing, it alluded to a David Cronenberg film about telepathics that blow up people's brains. Who remembers Scanners?
Of course.
Okay. He looks just like the guy that made that movie. Was that intentional or was that an Easter egg? Because that was tight, by the way. Yeah.
But that's, I think
so. Because of that, I think he'll be back because he played it so well and he looked like a director that made horror movies.
Like the way he died in season 1 was not believable because you knew that 11 had this ability to do this,
and he was prepared.
He's always prepared.
Yeah,
he's always prepared. It kind of has that My Hero Academia all for one for all vibe to me. I don't know if you watched it. You haven't watched the show yet.
I'm going to. It's on my queue.
But there's a hero, there's a villain who is the beginning of time type deal, and we think he's dead until season 2. Shout outs to I don't know Freak. Regardless.
Okay.
But I feel that he might not be dead. I think he has abilities. That
would be great.
I think he has a power set, and we don't know what it is.
So Magneto of the 80s.
Something like that. I think he's gonna come back in season 3.
That'd be tight.
I think he's gonna come back in season 3. I think we're gonna get that. And I think this town is gonna change drastically.
Oh, and then I wanted to see more of I'll let you get back to it. I wanted to see more of the relationship between Mr. Clark and his girlfriend Jen, man. And then hopefully we get more Mr. Clark too, because I feel like he's going to be an even bigger piece of glue in the next season. He's going to open up a lot of things just as far as science.
Well, Mr. Clark is going to be that kid. Once the kids grow up to a certain level, they're going to leave school.
Yeah.
So who else do you go to? Who do you trust? Right. You got to go back to Mr. Clark.
It'll be like a Mr. Feeney situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Feeney,
that's kind of cool. And then what was going on with Jen, man, because he kind of brought her into his world. You know, she was kind of like the innocent girlfriend that really liked movies and stuff, and he kind of introduced her to a world of horror. So I think her life is going to change too.
They really didn't show her in this.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind.
But they were close. She was probably at his job all the time. But what was she doing?
And that's a good thing about this, because it would show depth with Mr. Clark, because maybe he gets her pregnant, maybe he marries her, and then you see the development of it, and then you see something like. I'll save it for later, but you'll see. I think something's up with this town.
Yeah.
And Papa, the scientist, he knows. There's a reason why they built that facility in this town. There's a reason. I would like to get a flashback of Joyce and Jim Hopper.
Yeah.
I would like to get a flashback of them, and I want to see the town.
We'll need that
at its purest before all this happened. I want to see when they start building stuff.
That'd be great.
You know what I mean? Was Jonathan a little boy and no one was paying attention? Is it like an it factor where it sprays the town and people just don't pay attention to stuff?
Very possible.
You see what I'm saying?
There's a lot of conspiracy in that area.
Because for this upside down world to exist and all this stuff to happen and everyone's kind of like, maybe has an it vibe to it.
Yeah, Reagan era. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
So there's a lot going on, yeah.
So
you can really play on that. And who's to say that they didn't spray the town with mist? That'll allude to some Stephen King stuff too.
Shout out to the mist.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said,
man. Just Duffer Brothers, if you come across our video, man, just please bring back what's her name, Jen, man, Jackie Dallas, man, we like her.
Well, Duffer Brother, if you see this video,
do all that.
Go ahead and follow your boy J3 on J3 Entertainment on Twitter, the J3 Life, and let me get a free screening of Stranger Things 3 when y'all done.
Yes, please.
Let me see it ahead of time before everybody on Netflix. Let me see it. I want that. But we gotta give them a grade.
All right.
We gotta give them a grade.
I'll let you go first.
You guess on J3 Entertainment. You go first. Now I'll go first. All right. Rock, paper. Here we go. Well, shit. Let's go ahead. Let's go take it back. Rock. 2 out of 3.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Damn. All right. Rock, paper, scissors. Got you.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Got him. Boom.
Okay.
Nothing beats rock. Always rock. Solid rock, brother. Here we go. You go first.
All right. Stranger Things 2. It exceeded my expectations. It's much bigger in scope and tone. I watched it twice. Had everything I wanted and more. I was sad when it ended, but that's a positive. This was perfect season to me. It felt like a movie sequel, just like season 1 felt like a first introduction chapter. Stranger Things 2. Solid A+ across the board. Just production, acting, writing, directing, settings, everything. Visuals, it was cool. He got the job done. Shout out to Netflix, man, for putting out great content and giving movie theaters competition.
Oh yeah,
that's for real.
I'm gonna see a lot of merchandise for this stuff.
Yeah.
Your boy J3, love this show. I actually took off of work to make sure I watched this, make sure I got a chance to really go in depth with this series. Without giving y'all spoilers or anything, this was a great review. Shout out to my boy Ronjo Genji, Mr. Terrific, coming through with this one.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to give this show /movie/epicness a solid A+ across the board. I gave season 1 a high ass grade, and I'm giving this one a high ass grade.
Yeah.
This gets an A+ from your boy J3 all the way across. There is really no flaws in this show except for the Red Ranger, which I feel he has more depth coming in season 3.
I like his arc, but it was a good mystery. I want to see more of him in season 3. I like what they did, but it's spoiler free, so we can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A+. I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed the new characters they added in, like Maxine. I really like Maxine.
She was awesome.
I love the everyday girl next door. She reminded me of She reminded me of what's her name on The Simpsons when Bart next door neighbor had what's her name, Laura. When Laura moved in next door, played by a girl from Roseanne. It reminded me of that.
Sarah Gilbert.
Remember she was daughter? Yeah. So it reminded me of that vibe of Darlene. Okay. It reminded me of Darlene, but she came on The Simpsons and Bart was that dude next door, and she was a girl, and he had a crush on her. I really liked her. I really liked the fact they made her redhead too. That's what really made it funny. It was like, okay, she's a redhead girl next door.
Yeah, 80s road warrior.
And her name was Mad Max. Everything about it brought to the table.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. She was just as nerdy as they were. She was a little girl. At the end of the day, She wasn't fast like the other little girl. She was a normal kid.
She's normal.
I love that about kids. You know what I mean? When you, that's how I raised my daughter. Just be a kid.
Yeah.
You don't have to run around makeup and all that stuff like that. Just be a kid.
Have fun. Yeah.
She still liked boys. Boys like girls.
Yeah.
It still was a boy-girl situation, but she was still a little kid in the day, and I really love the way the Duffer brothers put that together. It gets an A+ from me.
Man, shout out to Millie Bobby Brown. She reminded me of a young Natalie Portman. That girl's amazing.
Oh yeah, she's getting.
She's
good,
gonna.
She's getting
grow
really
up and
good.
just be something special because she's great right now.
She's good.
Yeah, and
Natalie
the rest of the
Portman,
cast, you guys are awesome.
Professional, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Matilda.
So I got. They're asking this one. Which series is better? Season 1, Season 2.
Whew. Season 2.
Season
Stranger
2.
Things 2. It just feels tight to say it. Stranger Things 2.
Season 2 is better to you than Season 1. Why?
Stakes was bigger, more complexity, a lot more suspense, a lot more of just everything expanded. And then I got questions in certain areas that I was nervous about. I got more mystery. I just kind of got everything about part 1 but amped up. And that's kind of what it left me on a cliffhanger, just like the first one did. So you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. And that's what movies are supposed to do. And this, keep in mind, this is a show, so it amped up everything, and we got questions and answers. We got the whole triple package. Triple ultra combo. All right. Yeah, they gave it to us.
Season 1, Season 2. I have to agree with Ronan Joe Genji. Season 2 is a better show than Season 1, but I like Season 1 better.
Okay, that's fair.
I like Season 1 better because Season 1 was different.
You know what it was? Because Season 1 felt like something totally different when you're watching. Because it felt like a one-off.
Exactly.
What do you do after this? It felt more anthology.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said this earlier when we were talking off camera, Season 2 felt like, where did you go? But that's what you said when you finished Season 1.
Exactly.
And then you watch Season 2 and you go, okay, there's more to this. So that's a good thing to feel that way. You always go in open-minded and iffy. You have to.
Yeah.
To get a better experience. And you made a great point about that, by the way. But watching Season 1 could have went anywhere. Again, it was so contained and so mysterious. It felt more episodic anthology. Twilight Zone this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man,
so Season 2 could have been brand new characters. We never would have saw Winona Ryder and the rest of that cast again. That would have been interesting too. But they said these characters are so likable. We've built them up. They have a foundation. Let's keep the arc going. So that now it feels like a movie. Now it feels cinematic because these characters came back, but they're in a bigger, more massive world.
Season 2 for me, the reason why it's better is really.
And you love that Rod Sterling stuff, so I know you were kind of feeling that anthology.
Bruh, it always got me in because every episode felt like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
It might be about 11, it might be about the kids, it's always something different because this world has grown.
Yeah.
Season 2, you can obviously see the money. And I think that's what makes it a better show.
Yeah.
You got money, you got special effects, you got more into the characters, you open a whole new world of characters now. You open a whole new world of mystery and expectations for season 3 is even higher now. Yeah. Because now we got to see what the hell's going on. Because this facility is kind of the door to everything.
Yeah.
And everything's coming from this world, this place. And I really enjoyed it. I'm just a sucker for beginnings.
And who's just saying season 3 that it won't really focus on the perspective of the government, and then the other characters are just kind of like the back burner. We're focusing on them and how they see the world and what they're doing. I think that'd be interesting too, focusing on the government's point of view of things. Because you said you wanted to see more of like a bigger expansion world outside of Indiana. What's going on in other towns? This is almost like a kind of like a Cloverfield situation.
Oh yeah.
One big catastrophe affects everybody differently within the state or town or city. So that's kind of great. And then it kind of connects everything. So now you have a universe within a small universe, but you got one big catastrophe. Everyone's dealing with it differently. Everyone's affected by it differently in different parts of the world. I like that theory. That's tight.
I think
they might do that.
It's going to have to go. And once you go to the city, then you got something different. I'm telling you, you're going to have something different.
Because now it's global. Now it's an invasion. It's not just an attack anymore. We all in trouble. We all dealing with it now.
Like it's just so much because you don't want to spoil it. But I give it an A+. You give it an A+. This is a solid review, man. Really enjoyed it. I feel like I've been in an upside world because it took a lot to do this review. I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. Your boy's over here starving. I ate before I even started, but
same here. Yeah,
I'm starving now. Shout out to Ronan Joe Genji, Mr. Terrific, coming through.
Thanks for having me.
I am J3, the Batman. We are the Outsiders. I love this stuff, man. This is great. It's so cool doing this. I really enjoy this show. Can't wait for season 3.
I'm glad we got to do this for October, and for all the Halloween fans. Hope you guys have a good and safe one. And, if you haven't watched Stranger Things 1 and 2, go and watch it. This is definitely what you want to watch on October.
This is a great must-watch series.
Yeah,
like for real.
Put it out there. Support the Duffer Brothers, man, and the rest of the cast and crew, because they gave us something really special. And if you're into that era and you're the retro guy and you love those cinephiles, check it out, man, because you're in for a treat.
Hell yeah. I also want to give a big shout out to Team J3 for helping this boat flow. Shout out to my patrons, my family. You guys donate to J3 Entertainment. Make sure we got lights, cameras, the internet's up. Y'all make sure all this stuff happens by your donations, and I truly appreciate it. You guys are the greatest. Much love. If you like this review, if you like J3 Entertainment, you like Roger Games, you like the real and the real deal, and that's for real, make sure you thumbs this video up and subscribe to J3 Entertainment, where we keep it 100 at all times.
Thanks.
Thank you, brother, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
J3 out.